Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today we are looking at the Uncanny X-Men issue 15 Dark Artery part 3 of 4. It was time to cast. There's Gail Simone, who is the writer, David Marquez on the art, color artist Matthew Wilson, and VC's Clayton Cowles. So first of all, we get an unwanted guest waking up in the distance, and well, guess what his target is? Haven House. That's right, people, straight in there. Now Miss Henrietta, she tried to be a godly woman, a good woman. However, for 200 years, people like Mr. Miller have been hunting mutates and treating them like witches, destroying them and not letting them be able to rest in peace at all. She is about to finish that. However, she is interrupted by some of Haven's House's people here, obviously mutates as well. So meanwhile, back at Haven House, Rogue is fed up with secrets from Remy. I can never remember his name, from Marquez, and she wants answers. Meanwhile, Henrietta takes her diary back from Sophia and is talking about the I'm trying to think what it's called. The pen, I can't say it. It will come out eventually, but she's talking about Suvarak, who is a warden, and she is there to ensure that felons don't escape, and that is what has been calling to all the children. Also, we learned once upon a time there was a time when graves were molested, desecrated, and they wouldn't even take mutates children that were being after they had passed. So they decided to make their own. They made the artery. That's why it's called there. And there is a portal. So Man-Thing protects the graves. However, Miss Henrietta protects the Penubra. That's probably not how you pronounce it, but that's the closest we're getting. She stops people from going in and for people coming out, and it is calling to these children, and they mustn't ignore it because the warden, she wants out. Shuvarak wants out, and she wants a replacement, and it appears that replacement is Haturu, and he seems quite happy, but there is a risk with them going into this place. Even if it's to go in and come out, she says it will change you, and he's willing to do that. So once they go in, they get all new cool suits, which is awesome. And well, this is probably on the thumbnail, to be fair, because I think it's very, very cool. So they are in, and it is quite a dark, creepy place. There seems to be a town beneath it, underneath Haven House, underneath the ground. So there's a whole town under there through this portal. And they want to understand why people are here. But before that, Miss Henrietta warns you that the door to the artery will be closed at some point, and you have an opportunity to say, oh, go right now. And they decide to go. It's quite interesting why they've gone in, because it doesn't make any sense to me. However, nobody wants to lose Death Dream as because he's their friend. They don't want him to stay there. So that's why they've gone with him, to prevent him from, when he gets to this point of decision, to come back. That's the only way that I can look at this. So there was a woman a long time ago, Greta. Now, her father couldn't control his wife, who was a mutate. She was too strong for him, so he decided to bully the children, and eventually she and the community stand up to this, and they decide to punish anyone who would betray mutates, who would bully and treat their family badly, and they would be in here. That's where, so this is where they end up, in unending torment because of what they did, because of the way they treated them. So that's a little bit interesting, I thought. So the team, very simply, they're mounting up, but we also get inside of this place that all these people are very upset. They're very angry. They are alive. They're not dead. They are there to be punished. And as such, they will attack the demons. So you've got a bunch of haters attacking them. Meanwhile, in the past, Henrietta has a choice. First of all, George is saved. Then they have a choice. They can either burn and desecrate Mr. Miller, who's going to come back and he's going to tear this all down and control this. But Miss Henrietta says 3 words. No, it's not no more mutants. It's let them live. So she tries to still be that good person, and I guess there'll be more to that story next issue. One thing that I also wanted to say with the artery, normal humans are sort of scared of it. They steer clear of it, and that's why it's important to mutates or mutants now. I guess it will perhaps become a good place for them, perhaps. So inside, pretty much, they've got a lot of angry people coming towards them, and it's for them to hold their line. Kaliko shouts out to Death Dream that she loves him, which I was surprised, because I thought there was a relationship growing between her and Sophia. So yeah, they start losing quite quickly, which is a bit disappointing, because I thought these kids have fought some Sentinel Hounds. But then in comes the big cavalry. So Man-Thing has allowed the X-Men, or helped the X-Men to get in there. They got very cool little costumes. Wolverine's just half naked there. Usual stuff going on. And then we're back at home. So we learn that Chelsea is still far too young to enter this. However, the others have gone in there, and, well, you know what's happening. Target acquired. Sentinel Hound is, well, he's going to hound somebody in that final issue. So we got the letter pages at the end, and then we have the next issue coming out soon. And apparently the secret of the Endling is going to be revealed at last. And that cover is very, very nice. So I enjoyed the story. I think the last few issues for the Uncanny X-Men have probably been the most that have that I've been actually invested in terms of this run. So I think Gail's doing this is probably Gail being free to write what she wants to write, and not every few or several issues having to jump into an event and having to be cautious on what she's writing, not something too big. But she planted the seeds right at the beginning anyway with this group of children, and it has slowly been building, which I do like as well. The art was absolutely beautiful. I love the dark sort of gritty art going on in there. I always revert back to 80s art. Was early 80s was some of my favorite art. You know, I think back to New Mutants, Sandman in particular, some you know, or obviously that's DC, but in terms of Marvel New Mutants, I love the issues around Legion and that sort of dark, gritty art. So anyway, that's me. A fantastic issue. Thank you for watching. Thank you to everybody that subscribed to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important these days. And as always, embrace the geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.